Hello guys, Tony Bellew here. I've linked up with StubHub Tickets Forward, and we are going to be speaking to Michelle, a key worker for the City Council. She's doing amazing things. Let's hear what she has to say.
Hello.
Hello guys, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm really nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
This is one of my questions.
Okay.
Whenever you do interviews and things like that, you make it really clear that your missus is the boss, and I love it. When he's on the Xbox or he's doing PlayStation, or when it's like in a minute, I think, how has this woman got you trained?
I'm not gonna lie, I do like the PlayStation, a bit of FIFA, Call of Duty, or whatever else.
Yeah.
Sniping and on there, on some of the other ones, Splinter Cell and stuff. I can't knock them, love. So you know, I'm gonna have to support him on this one.
Right, you know what? I've got to tell you this as well, because my friends think this. I've got to tell you it. So when you fought David Hay, I'll be straight. I don't like David Hay. I think he's arrogant. I think he's just unnecessary. I don't like his whole way. And when I went to my dad plays golf quite well, so I went there, met all his friends. They was drinking. Every one of these golfers was rooting for Hay. Everyone. They said no. I said no. I was getting quite mad now because I've had a few pints. So I'm saying no. And what I did in the pub is I got my own corner. I said, this is the Bellew corner. Nobody come in my corner. So when they brought me a pint, they had to put it by my imaginary line because I weren't talking to none of them. Tony, when you won, this whole pub was like wanting to come in my corner. It was banter for the pub.
Listen, I couldn't stand him when I was punching him in the face. I only liked him after I finished punching his face in. But
you like him now then?
He's good at what he does, isn't he?
Yes, he's a fantastic salesman, and he knows how to take things too far to get under people's skin. But when you're in the heat of the moment and the fight is so close, obviously you just want to kill each other basically, and you despise each other. But there's always a common ground respect there between fighters because you know what each other's gone through in camp, and then you know how difficult to get in the ring. So we have a big respect for each other once the fight's over and finished with. But believe you me, when I was in that ring, I wanted to punch his face straight in. So, and I enjoyed it, to be honest, doing it as well. The first time,
it was frustrating, weren't it, when he got injured? I bet that's frustrating.
Yeah.
That must be the worst thing, because you've been thinking for so long, I'm going to do you in. And then he gets injured and it just takes away everything.
It was crazy. In the first fight, when he got the actual injury in the fight, it was hard because the fight was going perfectly as I'd planned. The first 5 rounds, 6 rounds, I expected him to burn himself out because he wanted to take my head off at every punch, and he kept missing. I kept, making him miss by miles. And then, as I said, if you look back on the first fight, at the end of round 5, I says to him, "You're blowing out your ass, and now you're mine." And then in round 6, he blows his Achilles out, which is just, you couldn't write it. So it kind of stole me glory at that moment. But, I'd done the rematch and there was no excuses. There was nothing that could be said. I gave him the rematch, the best part. I fought him in the March and then I fought him again. So I think it was 14 months. Yeah, 14 months later I fought him. So I gave him every chance to recuperate from that injury. And then I dealt with him good and proper in the rematch. So I finally put that chapter in my career to bed. I was very, very happy. So it was a great time. I miss fighting. I miss being in them huge, big moments and them fights more than anyone I could explain. But we have a shelf life. Unfortunately for me, your shelf life is about 33, 34. Anything over 35, 36, you're coming into decline. But
don't say that because I'm older than him. So I don't want no one knowing I'm going in decline.
We never grow up as men, so don't worry about that. He's always going to be a big kid deep down. It's the women who grow up, and it's the women who are definitely bosses. Like I say, I wear the kecks in this house. She just tells me what colour ones I'm putting on. So
another question we said, you just said obviously the respect after the fight because of what you've put in. We're watching you on SAS like the rest of the world. What is harder, going through the boxing training camp or the SAS situation?
Physically, it wasn't that hard. I'm not going to lie. Mentally, it was absolutely exhausting. Mentally, it's probably the toughest thing I've ever done. I'm not watching it back on TV. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we heard
so
say that. He rewinded it 7 times when you kicked a rock. times.
That's
and
me.
then
I'm very angry.
we watched the thing with you and Eddie, because that's on Mondays as well. So we watched that afterwards, and obviously Eddie makes reference to these certain things, and you shut him down and tell him you're not watching it. And obviously he's getting flashbacks of these things. He's dying.
That wasn't nice tripping on that rock, believe you me. That happened in the first 10 minutes of the first
That was going
half.
to be my question. Which was a harder fight? Usyk or The Rock?
The Rock done me in a round, to be honest. So, at least I was ahead when he beat me up. Do you know what? It was a brilliant experience. Very, very tough, but mentally it was exhausting. Like I'm quite a private person about my personal life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the toughest part about it is that comes out in the wash. Which parts of it I kind of regret, but then some parts of it I'm happy it happened because it put me in a better place. So I say everyone has their own problems, and I'm not trying to make out as if I'm a martyr or that, or but everybody has different issues and different problems in their life. I think that made me address some of mine.
And the last question: if you could pick 2 boxers, dead or alive, to have a fight, who would you pick?
Muhammad Ali against Mike Tyson.
What do you make of that comeback, though? I don't want
to. I hope he doesn't. I hope Mike doesn't come back. I've had dinner with Mike, and he's an absolute diamond of a person, complete opposite of what he is portrayed to be. A really genuine man who's been, just led a crazy life and has been. Yeah, guys, it was lovely to speak to you, and I couldn't imagine how hard that job could be at times. So thank you very much for your help and what you're doing.
Thank you.
Lovely to speak to you.